A woman working at her father's record store in Harlem in the late 1950s meets an inspiring saxophone player. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with a brand new movie review, and today we're talking about Sylvie's Love, which will be premiering on Amazon Prime December 23rd. Now, I'm going to let you all know if it's worth checking out in this spoiler-free review, but before we dive into it, as you all can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which you can find all those links in the description below. If you are new to this channel, welcome to the community. Consider subscribing, and while you're at it, hit that notification bell. That way you all can get the alert when I drop new content. It would mean a lot to me if you all can share and like this video. It helps out the channel, but I also appreciate the support. And in the comments, let me know if you all were excited for this film. Did it get you in the feels? Let me know your pros, your cons, your thoughts on the performances, the direction, and let's discuss this film in the comments below. So for me, saw the trailer last month, was really digging the vibes that I got from the trailer. I love Tessa Thompson. I love the time period that this movie takes place in. And every now and then, you need a good romantic, dramatic film. I love me some rom-coms, but again, a straight up drama romance film every now and then is good to have in your life. And going right into this review, getting off with the positives here, this is a classic old-fashioned romantic movie about a tale of following your heart. Your heart knows what the heart wants type of story, which I really enjoyed. And thinking of the three-act structure in this film, to me, the two first halves of this movie were so charming. Seeing the beginnings of this love story behind Sylvia and Robert, who start off as like a summer fling, but as things kind of go on, it becomes something more than that, which I really enjoyed. That aspect of the film was really heartwarming. And going back to the word traditional love story, by the way, which this film takes place in the late 50s, early 60s, the set design, the hair, the makeup, the costuming, the soundtrack all felt authentic. It really took you back to the times. But going back to the love story, I love seeing black leads, majority of the cast is minorities. Again, traditionally speaking, in the 50s, we don't see these type of people in these films. So I really found it to be really refreshing, as well as, there are predictable moments, some tropes, but it doesn't really rely on the tropes, which is something I also enjoyed. And going into the performances, I talked about Tessa Thompson, being a big fan of hers. She's one of those actors where you can just plop her anywhere. You can put her in the 50s, you can put her in space. She's such a great actress, and she's really the best part of this film for me. She stole every scene. All the rest of the cast members were fine. Robert's story has his moments, and we'll talk about Robert a little bit later, but she gets the most meat to chew on for the audience, at least for me, and it's she's the title of the movie. But seeing this character, having her expectations to be this proper woman of the 50s, having the expectations to marry into a rich family, not getting the support from her family to support her dreams of being a TV producer, and breaking out of the box that society puts her in, was really refreshing to see this character have that arc and see the beginning of her story to where she ends. Was really great. And again, Tessa Thompson was great in the role. I can't stress it enough that the first half truly, to me, is when the film was at its best. It knew what it was. I was having fun with it. Yeah, again, it had its predictable moments, but it was really the charming, heartwarming nature of the film that really got me into this movie. Unfortunately, I enjoyed it up to a certain point, which brings me into my criticisms. The film, for me, goes completely in the deep end when we go into the third act. As we kind of catch up, we have these flashbacks of 1957, then we go to 1963, we see where our characters are at, and that's where the film just had these completely unnecessary subplots and just things that just felt underdeveloped. I mentioned Robert earlier, which I thought the actor was fine, but his story of him being the saxophone player and being a musician and all that stuff, the subplot to me just fell flat. His journey to Detroit and Motown just didn't work for me. Sylvie, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but Sylvie has another relationship in this film between that 5-year gap and actually before that, but again, no spoilers. But seeing that relationship and how it felt so underdeveloped, and I'll be honest with you all, there's a character named Lacey in this film, and the film wants you to believe that he's the bad guy. And sure, he has some moments where he does come off to be, again, putting this societal idea of like a stay-at-home mom for Sylvie. But honestly, I felt that Sylvie and Robert were more of the bad guys, especially once you all see the film. You'll know what I'm talking about. The situation that they're in, this kind of love triangle, they were completely in the wrong, in my personal opinion. There's also little things in the film that just kind of felt forced. Like there's a particular character that dies. I won't say who, but it felt forced. It felt, number one, it came out of left field. And once the moment happens, they completely gloss over it. And then when you look at the secrets that our characters keep from one another, I know it's supposed to play into the follow the heart knows what the heart wants type of thing, but it was just frustrating for me, especially it just felt unnecessary, like unnecessary drama just to make it drama because it's a drama film. And then again, going into the back half of the second act of the movie into the third half of the film, it just didn't work for me at all. There's a lot that I can say about the relationship that I truly felt was like toxic black love, if I'm being honest, but it's in that third act that I felt like Sylvie, our main character, took a bit of a backseat from her character growth. It took a backseat to her character arc, and I felt like they did kind of undoing of what we learned from the character, and where she gets to at a certain point in the film, she takes like 10 steps back, and I really just didn't appreciate that aspect of the film. And I don't want to dive into spoilers going into what I mean by that, but if you see the film, you'll know what I'm talking about regarding how Sophie was at one point in the film here independent, and then she takes, like I said, they kind of undo a lot from that character growth. But those are my criticisms. Before I give you all my overall thoughts and if you should check it out, make sure if you haven't already to like this video, share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss any of my other content. With that being said, let me share with you all my overall thoughts and my score for this film. So overall, Tessa Thompson steals this film with her charming personality as Sylvie, as she goes from a woman being told how to live her life to being the one deciding what's best for her own life. Seeing this throwback old-fashioned romantic film with two black leads in the late 50s, early 60s was very refreshing to see, but unfortunately the film falls into too many tropes and unnecessary subplots, and that third act was just not for me. The film started off really solid, but ended on a low. With that being said, I'll give Sylvie's Love a 2.8 out of 5. Look, it may sound a little bit harsh in regards to my criticisms, but I really enjoyed the first two halves, and I just thought once we got to that third act, they really undid Sylvie's character. They gave me way too many subplots that just didn't add up and just felt underwhelming. So again, that's just my thoughts. It comes out on Amazon Prime December 23rd, so if you are a hopeless romantic, you might enjoy this a lot more than I did, but let me know what you all thought about the film once you've seen it. As always, make sure to like, share, comment your thoughts in the comment section, your pros, your cons, your overall thoughts. As always, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. That way you all can get the alert when I drop new content. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you all on the next video.